Along with Chef Tong. Chef Tong's unique Chinese cooking has captivated audiences everywhere and given him the title as the best chef in Santa Cruz by a newspaper readers poll. In light of this, Chef Tong's original recipes were published in the prestigious Bon Appetit cookbook, as well as many other publications. Now, Chef Tong is proud to present his creative way of Chinese cooking to you. So, sit back, relax, get your chopsticks ready, and cook along with Chef Tong.
Welcome to Cook Along with Chef Tong. On today's program, I'm going to show you how to prepare another delicious mild sauce called oyster sauce. With this sauce, I'll do two dishes. One is shredded beef with green peppers. The other is hard tofu with oyster sauce. Stay tuned. I'll be right back after this message.
Safeway is proud to be a partial sponsor of Cook Along with Chef Tong.
A lifetime of getting ready.
To make the Olympics, you gotta be great.
Getting ready for one moment.
Believe in yourself. You've gotta run every night and every morning. You're fast. Real fast.
As an official sponsor of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team, Safeway is proud to put good food on their training tables.
Try those things. Your daddy is so proud. You can do it.
We're America's favorite food store, and we're proud to be part of their lives.
Here's a first-time television offer on the most popular gospel music artist in history, Jimmy Swaggart, his 20 greatest hits at half price. You'll love hits like Sweet, Sweet Spirit, When I Say Jesus, There Is a River, He Washed My Eyes with Tears, The Last Mile of the Way, or everybody's favorite,
Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound.
Yes, you'll double your savings on hits like Life's Railway to Heaven or Our Lord is Coming Back to Earth Again.
Our Lord is coming back to earth again.
Supplies are limited, so act now. Here's how.
Rejoice to the music of the world's best-known gospel singer, Jimmy Swaggart. Call 1-800-527-4300. That's 1-800-527-4300. Or save COD charges by using your credit card. Or send $9.98 plus $2 postage and handling for 2 records or 2 cassettes to Jimmy Swaggart, Box 60, Los Angeles, California. Order now, 1-800-527-4300.
Come have fun. Come have fun. At the Santa Cruz boardwalk on the beach. You come have fun. Come have fun. 'Cause it's right within your reach. Admission's always free. So tell all your friends to bring the whole family on the boardwalk. Number one, Santa Cruz boardwalk and having fun. Come have fun. Come have fun. At the Santa Cruz boardwalk on the beach. Yeah, come have fun. Santa Cruz. Yeah, come have fun by the sea.
Welcome back. Today, the first dish I'm going to do is the beef. The shredded beef with green pepper, with oyster sauce. Usually, if you go to Chinese restaurants, the beef oyster sauce, they use sliced beef. And since I have already demonstrated a sliced beef, how to process, I'm going to use shredded beef. And also, I'm not going to use flank steak today, and I'm using London broil. This is a piece of London broil. And if you want to do it the easy way, you can freeze the beef and then cut it. Will be a lot easier. Get it out from the freezer, it's hard. Now this one is very tender and it's soft, so it's a little difficult for you to cut unless you have a very, very sharp knife. Let me demonstrate how to cut this. First, you slice, like this. And then you shred against the grain. See, this grain is like this. So you against the grain. You shred them like this. That's right. See? Shred it. I've already shredded some here. So this is about 6 to 8 ounces of beef. we marinate this. We marinate this the same way we marinate the sliced beef. First, we use half teaspoon of baking soda or 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This is baking soda I'm using. Mixed with 1 tablespoon of water. Make a solution. And then marinate it. This is the first step. This will make the beef very tender. Very tender. Now, this is the secret of making the beef very tender. And then the rest is almost like we marinate the chicken or pork. Use a dash of salt, dash of pepper, about 1 tablespoon of wine. I use Chablis. Beaten up egg, about 1 tablespoon. You don't have to use 1 egg. Okay. Now marinate this well. Using your hand, but make sure you wash them. That's right. Now, use 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Now this way your beef is going to be very tender. Very tender. Now after all these ingredients well marinated, put about 1 to 1.5 tablespoon of oil. Now, this, and then you leave in the refrigerator for about 15, 30 minutes or a little more. But today, it's all right. We don't have that much time. Just a few minutes. And then we cut the vegetable. First, I think everybody knows how to cut bell pepper. Bell pepper you shred like this. And then you can use bamboo shoots or zucchini. Zucchini, you slice them first like this. And then you shred them. Just like this. So we use this 2 kinds of vegetable. You use any kind of vegetable you want. But this dish, since we called it green pepper, so you use mainly green pepper. The other things you can use anything you want. And then we make the sauce. Make the sauce. The oyster sauce, you can buy the oysters in the supermarket. But the supermarket soy sauce, I don't know. Sometimes they don't have very high quality. So you have to go to Chinatown sometimes to get the real high quality soy sauce to make this dish very delicious. But if you are satisfied with the supermarket soy sauce, it's all right. So go ahead and use that. First, we use 2 teaspoons. We don't use too much soy sauce in this dish. Just 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. And half teaspoon of sugar. Half teaspoon of wine, a little bit of wine. And 1 tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoon of oyster sauce. We use a lot of oyster sauce because this dish name is oyster sauce. And mix them well. And then use 3 tablespoons of stock. Chicken stock I use. If you think it's too spicy, add more stock. If you think not spicy enough, use less stock. Okay, we have this sauce ready here. Now, we light the stove and we start to cook. But make sure that have this ginger and green onion chopped ready for use. Green onion like this. You can get it in the supermarket, 25 cents a bundle. You can use a lot. And then cut it into small pieces. And then you don't have to use the whole bundle. You can wrap it up in a cellophane paper or bag and put it in the refrigerator, and it keeps for many days. Ginger is like this. You also slice them and then shred them and then mince them. Something like this is very, very useful for Chinese cooking. I use for almost every dish. Now, we add about 3 or 4 cups oil to fry this beef. This oil is preheated. Otherwise, it takes a few minutes to heat the oil. First, we test with green onion and see if it's hot. You don't need to be too hot, but you still need to be a little bit hot enough. That's about 325 at least. Okay, should be all right. Now, this beef, after you fry, is going to be very, very tender. It's very, very tender. But you don't have to fry too long, just as soon as the beef changes color. Now, this takes about 1.5 minutes, I think. See, now it's gradually changed to brown color. Yeah. You don't have to use flank steak, but use London broil or any steak, and then shredded them. But make sure shredded them against the grain, Yeah. Now you can put this vegetable in there for about 15 seconds or 20 seconds, and then it will be ready. One lady wrote me the other day. He said, it's about time Safeway is your sponsor. Why don't you ask Safeway to buy you a better stove? I said, it's not that I can't afford a better stove. It's, I want to show you how simple the Chinese cooking can be. You can cook on a picnic stove. You don't have to build up a kitchen or something. That's the reason I use this stove, to show you how simple Chinese cooking is. That's why you can cook with your home stove very easily. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about the stove, the fire, the heat. Now we leave about 1 tablespoon oil in there, and put a little bit ginger, put a little bit green onion, a little bit of garlic. It's optional. If you don't like garlic, don't put it in. And then put the sauce in. As soon as the sauce is boiling, this cornstarch mix, it's 1 tablespoon and cornstarch and 1 tablespoon water. This is very important. And put it in very slowly and thicken the sauce. A little bit. You don't have to use them all. Use a little bit. And then you mix with the pepper and the beef. What a delicious dish, huh? Woo. I like to eat myself. This is my favorite sauce, oyster sauce. Doesn't it look beautiful? Tasty? Next, I'll do the tofu with oyster sauce. Stay tuned. I'll be right with you after this message.
This is just one way our freshness shows at Safeway. With iceberg lettuce, Safeway checks for freshness the way you should. Firm head, deep green leaves, white moist core. Like each of over 100 produce varieties, its freshness must show. Because if it doesn't check out with us, it won't check out with you. I guarantee it.
Oh, God, I could do that. Why aren't I there?
Win big money or lose it all with a smile. It's the game show dream.
Maybe I'll be discovered. Maybe I'll be a star. If that person can do it, I can do it. It's the man on the street, and you have to yell and go ooh and ah a lot.
There's no way it could be a bad experience. You've won a $100,000 home.
Game Show Mania with Tom Kennedy and Wink Martindale on Woman to Woman.
Tomorrow morning at 10 on 26.
Every week on This is New Zealand, we give you the chance to win a trip to our exciting land of green fields and clean skies. This is New Zealand gives full details of this fabulous travel contest each week, and you get a chance to win one of several weekly prizes of natural New Zealand products now on sale in the USA. New Zealand's the greatest little country left on Earth. We'd sure like to see you here. See This is New Zealand on KTSF, Channel 26, Tuesdays, 5:30 p.m.
You sure you can eat all that?
I'm sure. We're proud to be part of your life. Want to sponsor my first cameo? We're proud to be part of your life.
There's a food store working to bring you the best at a price that fits your budget. Safeway.
We're proud to be part of your life. Working hard to give you more. And we're proud you made Safeway America's favorite food store.
Welcome back. Next, I'm going to show you a tofu with oyster sauce. This is going to be a very delicious sauce and also a very delicious dish for the vegetarians. I'm going to use this regular tofu, hard tofu, today. You can find tofu like this in your favorite food store. They are sometimes in 4 pieces, or in 2 pieces, or in 3 pieces. This is in 1 piece. Now I'm going to use half of them today. That should be enough for 1 dish, because I'm going to use some other vegetables. What you do is cut into small squares like this. Just like this. And also, we're going to use some water chestnuts, some green peas, and some cloud ear. This is something very new to you. The cloud ear is very new to you. When it's not soaked, it's like this, the cloud ear. You can buy in the store in packages like this, sometimes even much smaller than this, because this is rather expensive. In a package like this costs you a few dollars. That's why they sell in very small package for $1 or $1.50. After it's soaked, it looks like this. For 2 pieces, it will soak like this. Very, very interesting texture too. Chinese cook many dishes with this, but not very, very common. That's why. So this is just for your information. It's not mandatory. Now we better start to cook this. Before we do that, we better make the sauce. The oyster sauce is with 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. We don't use a lot of soy sauce. And half teaspoon of sugar and half teaspoon of wine, gently a little bit. But we use a lot of oyster sauce. As I said, oyster sauce you can buy in the supermarket, but they may not be the top quality. 1.5 tablespoons, and then you use 3 tablespoons of stock. Okay, this is the stock. So we better light up the stove and cook. Oh, the picnic stove sometimes is dangerous, but have to be very careful. Put some oil in there. This tofu you don't have to fry too long, because just to warm it up. We don't want to fry it just like the hard tofu, the hard one. I mean the deep fried one. This is just to warm it up. Let's see if the oil is hot enough. Good. If the tofu is too wet, make sure to dry it with paper towel. This tofu is not that wet. It's okay. Make sure to dry it with paper towel. Okay. Just warm it up. 30 seconds is good enough, because you can eat tofu raw, see? See how easy Chinese cooking is? A little ginger, a little green onion, not too much, just a little bit. A little garlic. If you don't like garlic, don't put it in. Just put the sauce in there. As soon as the sauce boils, use your cornstarch mix to thicken it. As soon as it reaches the desired consistency, you put in the water chestnut and everything, just warm it up. And then put the tofu in there. It's done. Is that simple? Is that simple? Take you maybe a couple of minutes to cook this dish. What a beautiful dish. Huh? Hey, go and get your paper and your pen, and we'll be back with your ingredients for today and for the oyster sauce. And I'll be right with you. Thank you.
The next time you enjoy Safeway's Lucerne ice cream, you'll be doing a lot more than enjoying ice cream. Because for every half-gallon you buy, Safeway will make a cash contribution to the U.S. Olympic Committee. It's part of our official sponsorship of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team. So go on and dig in and be proud you're helping America's favorite athletes. We are.
Thank you.
Wow! Safeway, a proud sponsor of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team.
Hello, I'm Bob Late, inviting you to join me on Japan Today. Each week we look at the people of Japan, their culture, and their problems. We think it's a refreshing half hour. That's Japan Today, right here on KTSF.
Japan Today, Tuesdays at 6:30.
Come have fun. Come have fun. At the Santa Cruz Boardwalk on the beach. You come have fun. Come have fun. 'Cause it's right within your reach. Admission's always free. So tell your friends to bring the whole family on the boardwalk. #1, Santa Cruz Boardwalk, having fun. Come have fun. Come have
Welcome back. Got your pen and paper? Here are the ingredients. Please watch carefully.
Cooking ingredients for shredded beef with green pepper are 6 ounces of lean beef, 1 medium green pepper, and 3 ounces of shredded zucchini. Marinade with 1/2 teaspoon baking soda or 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Mix with 1 tablespoon of water, a dash of salt, and a dash of pepper, 1 tablespoon of wine, 1 tablespoon beaten egg, 1 tablespoon cornstarch, and 1 to 1 1/2 tablespoons of oil. For the oyster sauce, use 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, 1/2 teaspoon of wine, 1/2 teaspoon sugar, 1 1/2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of stock, and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch mix. Then cook with 4 cups of oil for deep frying, 2 tablespoons of oil for pan frying, 1 teaspoon of chopped ginger, 1 teaspoon chopped green onions, 1/2 teaspoon of minced garlic, and that's optional. And now, back to Chef Tong.
Well, this is the show for today. I've shown you how to prepare delicious oyster sauce. Don't forget to write me for today's recipe like so many viewers have done. I've received letters from almost every county in Northern California. So remember, Chinese cooking is easy when you cook along with Chef Tong. I'll have another very special sauce waiting for you next week. Same time, same station. See you then. Bye.
If you would like a copy of today's recipes, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Cook Along with Chef Tong, Post Office Box 1216, Santa Cruz, California, 95061.